Do you have some cash transactions and you're wondering, how do you enter those into QuickBooks? You are in the right place. Hi, I'm Candus Kampfer, and I love to help business owners and bookkeepers create confidence with QuickBooks. If you are looking for the online version of this training, you are in the right place. If you're looking for the desktop version, go up above or down below, and I will link it there for you. So let's dive into QuickBooks Online. Are you ready? First things first, grab your receipts. I'm going to teach you in a little bit about a spreadsheet that you can create, but let's just say, what's the first step that you're going to need to do? So the first step is actually setting up a account in your chart of accounts. So you're going to go under Accounting, Chart of Accounts. We're going to go over here to New. We're going to choose Bank Account. I know sometimes people go, why would I choose bank when it's cash? But trust me, it's the right button to click on. So you're going to choose Bank, then you're going to go here and you're going to choose Bank Accounts. You're going to say cash on hand. So this is if you have a cash till or you hold cash and you give it to employees to pay for things. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to put your account name. This is what you're calling it. So you could call it cash. You could call it petty cash, whatever you want to see in your chart accounts. Over here is where it's going to pop up. Description, you could put that in as well. We're not going to worry about a beginning balance. We're going to just click save. Okay, so now you have petty cash right here. You'll notice these ones have an arrow pointing. That means it's synced to the bank account, but there's no reason that cash would ever be synced to your bank account because it's cash on hand. All right, so the next, how do we enter in transactions? You can actually go straight to the register from the chart of accounts, or you can come up here and enter in your expenses just like you would anything else, okay? So you're gonna come over here and you're gonna go, okay, I have some expenses that I paid. We'll say that you went to Exxon and maybe you got fuel and you paid cash, and you're gonna come over here and you're gonna say that was $40 or how much ever you spent. This account is gonna be where do you wanna see it on your profit and loss. It's super important to know. This is gonna be how it shows up in your vendors, which is over here under expenses, right? So it's going to help you with your reports. This is going to be your memo. So we're going to click save. Boom. We just expensed it, so it'll show up on our profit and loss, but we paid cash, so it won't even affect our bank account. Now, the next thing you might be saying is, okay, what do I do though to put money into it? So you have a few options. You can click record the deposit. So you're just deposit, and you could say on January 1st, the beginning of the year, we put cash in here. You could say you as the owner, I'll put my name just for convenience, put cash in. Instead of a customer, you're going to say is a vendor. So whenever you're taking money in and out, it's going to be a vendor. And then you could put a little memo, started a cash drawer. And then you could say the amount that was deposited. Make sure you're on the deposited was $1,000 in this example. And then you're going to go here and you're going to say, this is a good question. Where does this come from? What do you think you're going to pick here? You're going to do your bank account, okay? So you might be thinking like, where do I put here if I'm getting the deposit? I'm in the petty cash account, but what do I do? You would choose where did the cash come from initially? Did it come from you as an owner, or did you write a check from your bank account? In this example, we're gonna say the bank account. So we're gonna choose checking. And what that is it taking money out of the checking account and depositing it into the petty cash. Remember, because this is impacting both bank accounts, you only need to do it on one account or the other, okay? So we'll click save. Now, let's say, just for simplicity, we were inside the bank account and we were adding that initial transaction. You're going to see it here and it's going to say, now we're in the bank account and it went to petty cash. When we're here, we drop this down, we just go straight to the petty cash account. You'll notice it says checking. So only one transaction takes care of both. All right. So now we have our original deposit and money out. Now, something else you can do is when you're recording a deposit, say you got money in from your customers, but you decide to keep part of it for cash expenses, you can choose to deposit it to your bank, and then you can come down here and it says cash goes back to, and you can choose petty cash. Did you know that this existed? Let me know in the comments. And you could say we took out $40 from that, or we took $100 out, and we're going to use it for cash expenses. So this is a great way to be depositing into your main account, but when you're removing cash or the owner takes cash out randomly, you can put this in here so that you don't miss any of the expenses later down the year, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and click save and close on that one, and you'll notice it put another deposit in. All right, so you're gonna go in, you're gonna put all of your transactions in and out. That's one way to handle your cash. So now let's talk about how do you enter in expense. Maybe you have a handful of receipts that you paid for out of your personal bank account or from cash, and as an owner, you wanna add those into QuickBooks. You're gonna come over here to the new and do a journal entry. Now, I don't typically recommend journal entries, but this is the time I do when we're talking about cash. So let's go in here and say that you spent money out of your own personal account, but you want to add it in, whether it's cash or a card. Okay, so first you're going to add in what type of expense was it? Fuel. The dollar amount. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. You can do one transaction at a time, or you can do it for the month. You can also always do a Google Sheet, which totals it all for you at one time. So you can come in here and create one that has the vendor, where you spent the money, the date, and then how much you spent and what category or expense would it go to, okay? Then the bottom, I recommend totaling it to make it super easy. So you can come in here and you can do it for the whole month. So in that example, it was August 25th, or you could do it for the end of the year, which would be December 31st. It's totally up to you. You're gonna come in here and you're gonna enter in all of your amounts, right? Whatever the amount is that you spent. Now, if you're doing one at a time, you could come in here and add Exxon as your vendor if you wanted. Remember from our receipt. Remember, based off of our transactions, it was the first one down here. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. You could do one at a time or summarize them. Once you're done entering all your expenses, the question is, what's the credit side need to be? Okay. So if you are a owner, of a sole proprietor, your business, it would be owner contribution. You can add that if it's not already added. It is always going to be in an equity type of account. So you have different types of equity. It could be a partnership. It could be a shareholder. It could be owner contribution. You get to choose which account you want. So here's owner, here's partner, you decide. So on this one, I'll do owner's equity, owner contribution. This is putting money in. That's why it's called a contribution. $60, you could put a little description. Example, you are putting August 25th, all personal expenses. Whatever it is, you're going to put that in there. When you're done, you're going to hit save and close. And that will record it as an expense against your business, which is on your profit and loss, and add it to your balance sheet for the equity, okay? So it's one way to do it. This is if you don't want to be reimbursed. Now, let's say that the owner goes, I actually would like a check back. How do we do that? You're going to go over here and you're going to expense. You're going to write a check. You're going to write it back to the person. Let's just add Candus Kampfer as a vendor. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to go bank account, the date that you want to write them a check back, and you're going to come down here and you're going to enter in what? However you want to expense it to your business, whether it was fuel that you're reimbursing the person for, maybe it was $100 worth of fuel, meals and entertainment expense, maybe it was travel meals. You're just going to come in here and you're going to go add it all up, whatever they gave you receipts for, total it, staple it, add it to the attached statement, right? A little stub, then attach the stub of the check to that for your records. You can always add any additional details that you want as well. Then you're going to click save and close down here at the bottom. And now you've entered in. Now you'll notice that when you reimburse them, it's not going to show up here, but where will it show up? It'll show up in your register, in your bank account, and it will show under your expenses for that vendor. So if I reimburse Candus Kampfer in my example, and I click on Candus, you'll see the check is sitting right there that I gave her money for. You'll see it says splits, and that's because we put it to more than one category. So I'm curious, you've now learned how to set up your petty cash accounts, how to add money in, how to expense your expenses. If the owner wants you to do where you just add it to the business expenses, but they want to see it on their profit and loss, they want to get to write it off, how to do that. And if they actually want to be reimbursed for the cash receipts, how to do that as well. Let me know which of these you're planning on using. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, please. I'd totally appreciate it. And if you'd like to get these tips and tricks straight to your inbox, I send them every single week. Go up above or down below. And if you're thinking, I'd really like to learn how to customize QuickBooks to your specific business, check out my Customizing QuickBooks workshop. I look forward to seeing you inside my next tip and trick. Thank you so much for being part of my community. Have a great day. Bye.